Hey guys, what is up? What is up? I hope you guys are doing good today, because I am doing great, and I've got a fun little video coming your way. What we have here is a brand new Matchbox casting. This is the 280ZX moving parts. This is from the 2019 series and Mix 3 of that series. Now, I don't know what happened to Mix 2. Maybe it's floating around somewhere in the ether. But today we have Mix 3, and of that mix, I have the 280ZX. We're going to take a pretty close look at this car. Now, this is a casting that is kind of a throwback car from a previous car that Matchbox did in the, I believe in the 80s. I'll try to pop up a picture here. Pretty cool casting, the original one, and this one right here is also pretty cool. So let's just crack this sucker open and get started. Okay, so here's the car out of the package, and I have to tell you, it's looking pretty sweet. So we got gray metallic paint. It's got a tan interior. These gold wheels look nice. I like the tampos on there. So I think what I need to do next is that I want to take this car apart. So give me a second, and I've got my Dremel here, and we're just going to zip these mushrooms off, and we'll crack this thing open, tear it apart, and check out the guts. Okay, let's get started with that. So here's the car. Here's all of its pieces. It's pretty standard construction here, although one thing I do like, if you see the door mechanism is pretty much standard, old school spring bar that keeps the tension on these doors. And I like that. I like the fact that not much has changed there. It's how it's always been done pretty much, and it looks like it's working pretty well. The doors, they have a nice resistance to them. And I think when you put the interior in, it adds a little bit of the resistance because it locks that spring bar in place. So here is the car. Let's open up the doors. Not much to say about the window, although I like the tinting. It's very lightly tinted, sort of a gold color. I'm not sure if that's coming through. Maybe you can see it with a little bit of white background. The tinting is perfect, given the gold tampos on here. The tinting on the windshield is really nice. Looks pretty good. So here's the interior. And looking at this is pretty neat, actually. So let me pop this open. So the interior is not molded in place as it sits in the car. It's actually molded like this. And then whenever they're assembling the car, they just fold it over, snap that in place. And the cool thing is that you have this nice floating steering wheel, and the dash also kind of floats above the floorboards. It's a really good look. The interior itself, I wouldn't say it's overly detailed. It's detailed enough, and it looks good. But you know, I have seen a lot of interiors that have a lot more details than this. But still, very nice. And you know, the color is pretty good, considering the gold tampos on the outside. So, good choice of color, and I really like this design. I've not seen this before. I'm sure this is not the first time they've done this, but I sure hope to see this more. So the base, a pretty standard base. It's got some details in the bottom. The wheels are a really good choice for this car. Gray color, it's a good choice. They probably could have gone with the black. Chrome would have been wrong. The color's pretty good. You've got a nice color break, but it's not too different from the sort of the smoky gray paint. And these cars didn't have chrome bumpers on them. They were painted bumpers. Anyway, that's the car. I'm going to go ahead and snap this thing together, and we'll get it on the rotating display, and I'll give you my opinion, my final opinion about this casting. So, okay, car's back together, and I have to tell you, I am very much impressed with this car. If you're a fan of, you know, this particular style of car, it's not a JDM car, by the way. This is an American car. We've got left-hand drive, but I think this is a no-brainer. This is almost a must-buy car if you're a fan of 280s, Japanese cars in general. I had pulled this out earlier. This is the, is this a Fairlady? Okay, so here's the 240, the Hot Wheels 240. This particular casting is from the mystery models. And while this is cool, this is a great casting, it doesn't match up to this 280. This 280 looks awesome. I'm really happy with this car, and I think this current mix, this mix 3 of moving parts from Matchbox, at least for 2019, is really strong. And this is just the first of a bunch of other really good cars. I also have, I've got the 2016, right? Yeah, I got the 16 Camaro here with the opening hood. It's a really nice casting. Boy, that's a striking metal flake blue paint on there. I haven't been able to find the Willys or the Chevy pickup, but they look pretty strong too. And I haven't seen the BMW. I have seen the Lexus and the Boone County Crown Vic. Those cars are pretty sweet. Not my cup of tea, so I'm not sure I'm going to buy them. But this mix is it's pretty good. Well, anyway, guys, this is it. This is the Matchbox 280ZX from the 2019 Moving Parts Mix 3. We haven't seen Mix 2 yet. I'm sure it's going to show up, but Mix 3 is strong. This is a fine casting. Really, I think it's a must-buy if you're into this car. And I'm really happy I got one. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of them. So I've got an extra. I don't know what I'll do with it, because maybe paint the interior. This paint is too nice to strip and try to make it better. Well, that's going to do it for me, guys. I am really happy with this car. I think if you end up picking one up, you'll be happy too. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.